It's Thursday, September the 1st, and you're tuned in to the TNIAB podcast. I'm Vince.
I'm Anthony.
And this is the Geek Chic Culture Show where we talk about all the cool things in the whole wide world. This is it. This is the final weekend. And then, I don't know, we'll just say people go back to their normal scheduled business.
It's the final weekend of what, long weekends, I guess?
Well, this is the long weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the last one. I think in America it's...
We get Thanksgiving?
What?
Wait,
What?
Isn't Thanksgiving like in
October?
Yeah. We still got a couple more.
No, I mean, like, this is the last one for the summer.
Oh. Good.
This is it.
Bah
Like,
humbug.
Like, this is the one that's like, after this long weekend, people go back to school, people go back to work, people actually start doing work. Like, I won't lie, I've done jack shit all summer at my job.
The vacations are just
Yeah.
whatever.
You know? Even my boss is like, you know, if you can, take all your vacation now, because September, we're into it.
And you're like, sucks to suck.
Yeah. So,
What the
yeah,
hell,
that's exciting, I guess. Man, the summer just flew by.
It actually kind of did.
Like, it just went.
Yeah.
It disappeared.
I'm not going to lie. I think ever since I
Working?
started that job,
Yeah.
the months have been cruising.
Yeah, they just go by fast.
I don't like it.
What do you mean? You love it. You're always like, oh man, it's so slow. It's only X day. I hate the summer.
Yeah, okay, I want the summer to start cruising, but I like once we get fall and winter and spring, just, slow it down a bit.
Nah, before
Chill.
you know it, we're going to have snow, and then it's over.
Ice skating time, baby. Let's go.
Nah, if that. Anyways, yeah, that's it. So, enjoy while you can, everybody.
Yeah.
Anyways, this week, I don't know. There's some announcements, I think. I think there's some news. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
It was kind of slow. There's some minor things.
Yeah, I guess we're still in that awkward period where it's like, it is technically the summer, so there's no major announcements, but at the same time, things trickle out to prepare us for the holiday. You know, that marketing rush of, what am I going to buy myself this holiday season, you know? So, I guess we'll get there. I guess we'll start off with some picks, because this week, I don't have a lot, but...
Dude, quality over quantity.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So some bangers in this pick.
Yeah. I would like to say that I'm glad that the Grand Tour is still a thing, even though they have like a weird release schedule, just doing
It's
specials.
like whenever they feel like it.
Yeah. So they have one coming up, I think, September 16th. The Grand Tour, a Scandi flick in reference to Finnish rally driving.
Scandinavian flick.
Yeah.
The classic.
And
I should play Dirt Rally more.
it looks like this special is going to be in the winter of North Europe, and they're driving around in rally cars doing rally car business.
Sounds pretty cool.
Antics ensue. Looks entertaining. Cannot wait. But my second pick is far more exciting in that the Cyberpunk Edge Runners anime that we have been talking about for a while is gonna come upon us really quick, because I believe the release date is 13th, Tuesday, September. And they released their final trailer, which is also their Not Safe for Work trailer.
Oh, baby. Was this ever not safe for work?
Yeah, when they said not safe for work, I was expecting blood, but
Yeah.
it's beyond that.
Dude, there's a lot of like just straight up pornography in there.
Yeah, like I think there's one scene of a girl like having an orgasm.
Yeah, she's getting some liquids out, you know?
Absolutely. Some dude gets his head punched straight off. Like, it is.
I was telling you guys when I was watching the trailer, I was just like, this is what I wanted the game to be. God damn. Just some crazy drug-filled gore fest.
I mean, I don't know if the game was ever going to be this, because this is hella anime. Yeah. Like, this is beyond anime at this point.
Throw in some more gore, you know? Like, when I hit someone with the mantis blades, let me, like, cut them down diagonally, you know? Give me the Revengeance limb-cutting tech.
Didn't they do, like...
But it wasn't, like, procedural. It wasn't dynamic like
I see.
Like Revengeance. Bring that back. That was like the best part of Revengeance.
But that's also a smaller scale game.
True.
Yeah, no. This anime continues to look wilder and wilder and way more fun.
This is one of those things where it's like, maybe it's just because of like what I'm interested in.
Yes.
And it's like, wow, this is really trigger. Like, it really feels like they're like, all right, we want a mature, gritty, gory version of Cyberpunk. And that's the only direction they gave Trigger. And then Trigger was like, sick. And they just were able to like run free within the realm of Night City.
Yeah.
Right. And that it's, oh God, it doesn't feel like like CD Projekt Red had their hands really in anything.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm into it. I can't wait. Cannot wait.
I'm probably gonna watch that day one.
Yeah, this is on Netflix, so
damn.
everyone should have access to this at this point. All right, those are my picks. Very, like I said, very short.
That was it. Okay, I got a follow up on the price hike for the PlayStation 5.
Okay.
So it turns out that PlayStation is releasing a new model along with this price hike that is the lowest in weight it's ever been.
Oh, you mean like new innards, not like
new innards.
Not
yeah,
like
yeah.
a new SKU. Okay.
So in 2021, they had a new version, the 1100A, and it came in. So the launch for reference, the launch with the disk drive was 4.5 kilograms.
Yep.
Okay. And then they came out with the second model in 2021, and that's 4.2 kilograms,
Mm-hmm.
and that was credited to a different heatsink.
Yeah, I think it was smaller, much less copper.
Yeah, less copper,
but
smaller.
I think they have more efficiencies on the TDP, so it generated less heat.
Yeah. And then now there's the CFI 1200A, and that's clocking in at 3.9 kilograms.
Okay.
And 3.9 kilograms is with the disk drive, is the weight of the launch digital edition. So they are cutting weight wherever they can, and it's brought along with it a bunch of questions of, they're going to be saving so much on bulk shipping. Why are they raising the price?
Why not?
You know what? That's honestly the answer I was thinking of too. Like, if I can, why wouldn't I?
So I understand. I will say I don't know anything about the manufacturing world.
Yeah.
And in order to create these weight savings, was there a change? Like, did they have to make new molds?
Yeah.
Right? And molds are not cheap.
And like, so for people who don't kind of get what I'm getting at, you might think that like 0.6 kilograms on a console is kind of nothing, but you can't think about the individual console. You have to think about that Sony is making millions of these.
Yeah.
And they're shipping them out in bulk.
Yeah.
And a lot of freight, cargo stuff like shipping and all that, they deal in weight. So any weight cutting savings will lower their shipping costs and lower their distribution costs in general. And that's why it's a big deal when you're selling it on such a mass scale.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's no word on like what has changed, because I think nobody has it yet. So nobody's done like a teardown or what's going on there.
I mean, just to go back to the shipping thing, shipping costs have increased dramatically.
Yes.
In the past 2 years.
Because everyone's trying to catch up.
So in terms of the PlayStation 5, there's probably an argument to say that when it did launch, they've kept that price because they know whatever. But they've been eating this cost as it's been slowly rising over the past 2 years.
Yeah, that could be.
And maybe now they're finally catching up, and they're like, forget it, we just can't sustain. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's giving them the benefit of the doubt.
It is, and it's also like, if your immediate response to that is like, well, Microsoft didn't raise the Xbox price, and it's like, yeah, because they're Microsoft, they don't have to, right?
Yeah.
They have the biggest computer platform, they have the biggest cloud platform. They don't need to. They can siphon from other departments to kind of eat that cost.
Mm-hmm.
But Sony's just PlayStation at this point, really. Like, Sony Films isn't doing too hot from what I remember.
Yeah, I guess.
And they're not making Walkmans anymore, so
it's true. They're not.
We even learned that they're not making Sony Vios. What are they doing? What do they do?
Headphones.
I guess.
In-zones.
In-zone headphones.
Exactly. That's
God
3
damn.
whole markets.
All right. Okay, that's fair. But yeah, so the hardcore gaming forums are all just like, what a bunch of assholes. They cut it by like almost a whole kilogram, and they're still charging me more. So it's kind of left a bad taste in some people's mouths, but it's a pretty interesting story.
Okay, but what if they use a higher quality, like an entirely different material that's lighter but obviously more expensive?
That all the outrage is coming from business bad.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody knows the...
Because listen, I love me some titanium.
Yeah.
But titanium is not cheap.
True.
All right? I'm not saying there's titanium instead of steel inside the PlayStation. What I am saying is it could be carbon and not plastic.
Carbon nanofibers.
Yeah, so like, who knows? I don't see this as I don't think this should be negative news or positive news.
It should just be news.
It's just like, that's the reality of our economy.
Yeah, for sure. In a very surprising, out of left field thing, I would have never expected this in a million years.
Okay.
The creator of Wild Arms
Yeah.
and the creator of Shadow Hearts,
Ooh.
they are starting their first ever dual Kickstarter. So apparently this is the first time anybody's ever done something like this.
Okay.
Where they're going to have a Kickstarter. It's going to have a set pledge.
Yes.
And then if it passes, both games will be made. So the Wild Arms creator is going to make a game called Armed Fantasia: The End of the Wilderness.
Yeah.
And that's going to be in the spirit of Wild Arms.
Okay.
And the Shadow Hearts creator is going to create a horror RPG called Penny Blood.
Penny Blood.
Penny Blood. So right now you can find it on Kickstarter. It's under Armed Fantasia and Penny Blood. They're looking for a fund or a pledge goal of 950,000 Canadian dollars. They've already passed it.
Okay.
They're at 1.4 mil, and within this Kickstarter, you can, if you don't say I didn't like Shadow Hearts, but I do like Wild Arms, you are able to just back
The one?
the one. But it's like your money will go to both being made type of thing.
You know, I guess why not? They probably saw that, hey, if Shenmue can do it, anyone can.
True.
And they don't have to necessarily put out a good product.
Oh God. Oh,
But
no.
you know what? It makes sense because people of the PS2 era, or the
Mhm.
people who love what the PS2 is strongest at, we're all at an age where we got the money to just
It's true.
throw at this stuff.
It's
so
true.
why not?
And I'm like, they got a physical backing for
God.
both games. I'm like, I don't
See
know.
that? Fill the prophecy.
They got console versions.
Oh, gross.
So yeah, they've cleared their first stretch goal, which was $1 million.
Wow.
So the original one was 750,000 US, so 950,000 Canadian, around there, and that would be to fund both games. And then the $1 million one was console versions, and now the 1.5 mil is New Game Plus. So they're going to add more features as they get more money. And the thing is like, to make two games on how these guys make games, they probably have some sort of like hidden backer, some like angel investor, where they're like, if you can raise X amount of dollars on Kickstarter, I'll give you something else.
Yeah.
Like some sort of like shadow publisher maybe.
No, absolutely. This looks more like a how would I call this? More like a not a proof of concept, but just like a proof that the audience exists.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's like, I don't think the money is where it's obviously it's important, but I actually think it's more about the interest.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing here too is that they are being very realistic about their time frame of when they're going to deliver this game.
What are they saying?
Because
2026?
March 2025. So you back it now, and you can get it in 2025.
Dude, what? God, the amount of tears.
Dude, amount of tiers that are sold out at the bottom.
Yeah.
Right? Like $5,000
1
tiers.
million yen or more.
Yeah. That's like 10 grand.
Yeah. Wow.
And so the thing is too, right now, yen's kind of weak.
It is very weak.
And they're doing this Kickstarter in yen. So I'm like, I should get in on one of the more expensive ones, get my money's worth, you know? Because once 2025 rolls around, yen's going to shoot back up. Maybe finally the country will be open. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah. Wow. This is Arm Fantasia looks so cool.
Yeah, just the concept art there. Yeah.
Yeah. That said, I don't know anybody who liked one and not the other in terms of Wild Arms and Shadow Hearts.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's why they're doing the dual Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But
cool.
Yeah, keep an eye out on that. If you are a fan of either game, definitely check out this Kickstarter.
It seems pretty neat.
Continuing on with some more news. Xbox has come out. Phil Spencer has speculated on what the company's intentions is on the Activision Blizzard merger post acquisition. So they have pretty much confirmed that Overwatch, Diablo, and Call of Duty will all come to Game Pass, which I think everyone kind of expected. Like, why would you make that merger?
What does that even mean, though? Overwatch is free. Call of Duty is free. Diablo is going to be free.
Well, Diablo 4 is not free. That's still...
Let's face it. That game is going to have some sort of free version.
Eventually.
Yeah.
But you get one class. You got to buy each class individually. Yeah, maybe. But it's really interesting just because they're getting even more scrutinized with this merger over in the UK. So the thing you have to remember with this merger is that it's not just antitrust firms in North America. This is a worldwide company.
For sure.
So they basically have to get every antitrust in every region of the globe to agree.
Yeah.
And the UK watchdog, which is the Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA,
Yep.
is really fucking worried, it seems, just about not only the current competition, but they're worried about the future of the industry, and that this merger could lock out pretty much any newcomer from getting into cloud computing and cloud gaming, which is where they think that the industry will eventually go. So this comes off their phase 1 investigation. They had a bunch of concerns. They sent some concerns to Microsoft, and they have until the 8th, I believe, to bring back some convincing plans. And if not, they're going to go into a phase 2 investigation with some separate individual parties to kind of analyze the situation. Yeah. And so what they're basically worried about is that Microsoft is not only one of the leading game developers, but they are the lead in the PC market. They are the lead in cloud computing with Azure and stuff like that. And all of that combined creates this kind of like super hostile market to any sort of competition that could come in the future.
Sure.
So we'll see how it goes. The UK and Europe is usually the most stringent on these kind of antitrust things.
That's probably the best angle I've heard in terms of trying to lock it down. I have no doubt that this will still go through.
Interesting.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem. And I only say that because, again, a lot of this is based off of speculation of where the market will go with today's assumptions. And if every other industry is proved correctly, it's that the number one disruptor is the person you're not looking at.
It's true.
Right?
That is true.
Like even just looking at the car industry, seeing how much traction companies like Rivian and Lucid have made.
Wasn't that whole Rivian thing like people just pumped the shit out of it and then skedaddled? Like, what happened with that? Because they got Rivian was being done through a SPAC, right? Like they didn't go public by themselves. They went through a separate company. Yeah. What happened with that?
They're
still going?
Yeah, and they're like poised to be bigger than Ford.
Wow.
Like, it's incredible. Like these companies just out of nowhere, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Their truck, the R1T, impossible to get.
I was hearing about Rivian so much, and then nothing for like after they went public, and I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah, because they're selling cars now. And it's just
I
like
guess that's fair.
Yeah. Like there's nothing more to talk about. Like they're in, and they're
damn. These look like Jeeps, and I hate them.
I mean, they look like future Jeeps.
Yeah.
Because have you seen a Jeep? That shit looks like it's still from the 50s.
Yeah, it's fucking lame. Jeeps are lame.
But yeah, so like I said, I have no doubt this is gonna go through just fine.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. I don't know. I am usually wrong either way, I guess, on these things. So. And then the last quick ones are some gameplay trailers and one delay. So, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, this game that I've been looking to play since 2021.
This is the Jet Set?
This is the Jet Set spiritual successor. Okay. Delayed again. So first, it was originally supposed to come out 2021. Then it got delayed to 2022.
2021?
Yeah.
Oh.
And now it got delayed again for a new target of summer of 2023.
So Anthony,
this game's never coming out.
Just be on the horizon. Look on the horizon. There's gonna be a Kickstarter for this game.
Dude, it's already going.
This is gonna be a second Kickstarter.
I don't know if there was a first Kickstarter. Was it?
Dude, there's gonna be Indiegogo to like the final push, guys. We just need your help.
We just need a little bit more cash money.
Yeah, just inject us, please.
All right, I will. All right, you got me. All right, I want this game to succeed so fucking bad.
It's gonna be so shit.
I hope it's not.
It's gonna be the worst game you've ever played.
Because there are other games. So this is made by Team Reptile, and they made that multiplayer game, the one where you get hit. What's the fucking Team Reptile? God damn.
I don't know.
Games.
If it ain't Among Us, then
it's not Among Us. Among Us.
Okay.
Dude, I wish it was Among Us. That'd be sick.
Mm-hmm.
Lethal League. So they made Lethal League.
Okay.
And that game's fucking sick. And the style of that game is awesome.
Okay.
And also it sold a lot. So it's very, very popular as well. So I hope that the quality will continue over to this game. Mm-hmm. But goddamn, I really wish.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I'm sad. Wolong Fallen Dynasty, the new Team Ninja game, Koei Tecmo game, had a gameplay trailer.
Sure did.
It's looking like Neo, dude. It's looking like Chinese Neo. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed. But it seems a lot less rigid than Neo.
Less rigid?
Yeah, there's a lot of like parries and like perfect dodging. There seems to be like a lot of kind of like set animation attacks where like you flip off a guy and then come down through his face or whatever. It seems like, if I had to make a comparison, it seems less Dark Souls, more Sekiro. That kind of a shift in terms of action.
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
But
yeah, okay.
I would like to see like, so this is all in-engine gameplay, but it's not like someone is playing it type of gameplay. There's no HUD. It's not like what you would see as a player. It's more like, here's what's happening in the game, and we're giving you cinematic angles to look cool and stuff. So that looks cool. And then the last one was Gungrave Gore.
Yes. I remember this was announced pretty recently.
Just like November of last year, I believe.
Okay.
It is, if you don't know Gungrave, it's kind of like this like anime, almost like, I wouldn't say Devil May Cry that far. But it's like an third-person action game. Lots of guns, lots of gore, lots of violence. And it's like very combo and action heavy. Yep. So like kind of string up your OP, juggle your enemies, make them blow up. Think of the most creative ways to like murder people.
Yes.
And they finally have a release date of November 22nd, 2022.
Right.
So definitely check that out. I think the Gungraves on the PS2 were very good. There was a Gungrave VR, which is apparently canon, that I never played. And Gungrave VR, like this game takes place after Gungrave VR, but I don't
really.
I don't think the Gungrave story is too much to write home about. It's more the gameplay.
I agree.
So yeah, that's the last one I had.
Yeah, I was just a little distracted. I got an email from a toy store.
Who baby put the order in,
saying that Gurren Lagann was delayed.
Pre-order another one.
No. And I want to check the delay date, so it moved from September to October, so I have another month to bank $300.
All right. Did you already pre-order it?
Of course.
Okay.
That's why I got the email. It said
All
it's
right.
been delayed. I'm a little upset.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Anything big in the toy game going on recently?
I mean, not really.
No.
Like, what do you mean by big?
Like any like hot new tech that like all the toy kids are trying to copy?
Not really. No. Like the toy scene is pretty stagnant. Yeah. There's nothing real, and it's different because in the toy scene, you're always trying to hit a price point. And like you said, with manufacturing costs and shipping costs on the rise, what you're seeing over the years is just a substantial drop, not only in, I would say, build quality, but more so in finishing.
Okay.
So like a Transformer toy you buy today almost is devoid of paint.
Yes. Right?
Like a lot of the color blocking is made up of the injected molded plastic. A lot of these parts are very thin and hollow. They've been very creative in the ways that they've tried to mask these things, but it's very clear to see even from toys from like 10 years ago, the stark difference in what was available to them. Like I look at toys from 2010 era, from when Transformers Revenge of the Fallen was out.
Okay.
And that was a time when companies just had boatloads of money.
And were just making crazy shit.
Yeah, and it's almost like they had too much money and they over-engineered everything. And it makes those era of toys amazing build quality and just like what they look like, but almost a superb frustration in handling.
Interesting.
Because it's like we could, instead of being like, and you know how these work, like they have infinite budget. So instead of trying to look for a creative solution, they just throw in the easy solution, which in a transforming toy is add another pivot point or joint, and then you just end up with
too many,
and it's just not intuitive or fun to play with. So I would say no, there's nothing there.
I've seen a lot of similarities between the toy game and the watch game. Just over-engineer shit.
I think the difference in the toy game is they literally do have to hit a price point.
Okay.
The watch game, you do not.
They're just like, let's just do stuff.
Because they like the thing about watches is they will never sacrifice quality. Okay. They spit in the face of budget.
Okay. All
like I just read a story. Rolex has increased their prices 5% this year.
Inflation.
Like just at the deal at the authorized dealer, and I was like, well, that's a bummer. That said, I came to the realization that as much as I want a Rolex, I can't think of a model in their current catalog that I actually like.
Dude, because that's the poor man. That's the poor rich man's watch. All right.
And like,
got to move beyond.
It almost defeated me because I was like, what am I doing? Like, this is the benchmark, but there's nothing there I want. And I was almost a little sad about that. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of nice things there, but nothing that really shouts at me.
You want the Yacht Master?
That's like the last one I want. Like my favorite watch there is the Explorer, but even now I don't really care.
Dude, what about the Oyster Steel?
They're all oyster steel, unless you're going for like white gold, platinum.
Dude, platinum watches?
Dude, rose gold. That's
wow, these are all generic as fuck.
But see, you can't say that.
I can say, I just did.
No, because the reason they look generic as fuck is because everyone in the industry copies their original designs.
Yeah, well, maybe they should, step it up.
But like that's the whole Rolex thing. Like they don't change the designs of their watches. They haven't in like 100 years.
You know what? Actually, this baby blue 36 millimeter is pretty nice. You know what?
Let me guess.
I take it back.
Is it platinum? Is it the Oyster Perpetual with the Roman numerals?
Oh,
it certainly is.
Baby.
It's the date.
That's,
okay,
god damn.
That's only $40K.
That's it?
Yeah.
Dude, I got expensive taste. Holy fuck.
That
Do I have to be on a list for that? Do I have to be invited to buy that?
That actually was just released this year, and it was a big fucking deal because that bezel's fluted, right? Like it's not smooth. Yeah. For a long time, Rolex couldn't do it.
They couldn't do a fluted bezel?
Not in platinum.
Okay.
And so that watch only came with a smooth bezel, but this year they released it with fluted, and everyone's like, that's it. That's the one.
Dude, the blue dial, though. God damn.
It's nice. You are certainly on trend. Everyone wants a Tiffany blue watch.
Dude, why do I have such good taste?
Why are you so basic?
Why do I have such good taste?
Why are you so basic?
They go well with my my jean jacket. Jean jacket, flannel, and a Rolex.
Damn.
Oh, you think this is regular denim? I'm sorry, this is virgin Japanese denim, hand-dyed, in the mountains.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
He only makes 5 pairs of jeans a year, so.
That said, there was a watch release this week, Tudor Pelagos 39, and I want it so bad. But it looks like the most generic watch you've ever seen, but I also want it so bad. I am on multiple wait lists.
Okay.
And they're all like, yeah, probably in a year.
Probably never.
Yeah.
How much do you make?
Too much money. Speaking of which, things that were delayed. Update on my car.
Yeah.
I got a call from them.
And they're like, delayed again.
And they're like, Vince. I'm like, yeah. And like,
are you sure you don't want the Supra?
We have some good news and some bad news. I'm like, all right.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, hit me with the bad news. Is it delayed and by how much? And they're like, your car has been moved from a 22 to 23. And I'm like, you mean the model or the delivery date? And he goes, yes.
And he goes, yes. So what? You're just not getting the car you paid for anymore?
And I'm like, so I'm getting a 23 model in 2023. He says yes. And I'm like, what does that mean for the price difference? Because I know they went up. And he's like, we will hold. We will
honor the price.
Yeah, we'll honor the price that you deposited at. I'm like, that's fine. I'm like, what was the good news? He's like, well, you don't have to worry about protecting a sports car in the winter. I'm like, fair enough.
Protecting a sports car in the winter?
Well, because like if I got it, I would have immediately paint protected and gotten winter tires.
Okay.
But if I'm getting it in the spring, I don't have to worry about the winter tires
until later.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Then I could either, I don't know, ceramic coated instead. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the update on the car. You watch. It'll show up on Christmas, like in the middle of a snowstorm.
Yeah, it'll be like a little bit early.
And they'll be like, wait, this came early. And I'm like, fuck you guys.
You motherfuckers.
Maybe buy winter tires halfway through the season.
Now you're ready for next year.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the update on my stuff.
That sucks.
Yeah. Doesn't it?
But dude.
What?
Let me tell you about my week.
Oh God.
All right. Did you ever hear about these things? What are they called? Video games?
Nope.
Dude, they're pretty sick. You should try them sometime.
What? How would you describe it?
It's like think of like a movie, right? So you know when you watch a movie and there's like a guy there and they're like going through a story, right?
Yeah.
But except you control the movie.
Like a hand puppet?
A little bit, but imagine like you're like a puppet master, not a hand puppet. Like you got the strings, right?
So I have a lot of strings and physical connections to something,
right? And the controller is your physical connection to the main character. Imagine in Star Wars, if is to the Force be with you or whatever, you could choose not to say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like my imagination.
Yeah. But in like a real format, like canonical.
Oh, format. Like Lego.
Yeah, mocks. All right, let me tell you about mocks.
Okay.
All right, I've been building some mocks.
Of what?
No, I've been playing Diablo 3.
Why?
So, Path of Exile, last week I
you
was
were like,
telling you.
you're like, I'm done. I can't do it.
I was like, I'm done. I can't do it. It turns out that also a lot of people can't do it because
it was just set so high.
They stealth nerfed a whole bunch of shit that weren't in the patch notes.
No.
And one of the biggest things that they nerfed in the patch notes was the drop rate. So in a couple of seasons, they put in like a drop buff, right? Because how a season works is that here's a new mechanic. You have 3 months to get as far as you can, and then it's over, and then that character transitions into the open league. And if you want to play a new season, you start fresh again. So they're like, oh, oops, for the past bunch of seasons, we accidentally left this drop buff on. We took it off without telling anybody, and drop rates went down 80%.
Whoa.
So now all these casual players are like...
That's not a small amount.
No, that's a crazy amount. And so now all these casual players are like, I'm not going to get anywhere in this season because I'm getting 80% less rarity in my drops. That's insane.
Yeah.
Streamers love it because it pads out their content for the season, obviously. But even some of the most like hardcore guys, there's this group called Empyrean Gaming. And basically all they do every season, they try and break the economy. It's a 6-man group. All they do is group runs for like the first month of the league.
Yes.
They get to like end game the first day. And they get so much rarity and so much stuff that they try and flood the market on PoE trade to just crash every item price.
Yeah.
Right. And also they have 2 people in the person 7 and 8 in their group. They only buy and sell. That's their whole job in the clan, is just to buy and sell. They don't play the game. They just play the market.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds so boring.
Well, these guys are dedicated. They're turbo nerds, all right? But even them, they're like, yeah, fuck this season.
Like it's too much.
Like
huh?
it's just, we're not getting any fun out of it. We can't make all of our weird meme builds with all these like broken stat items we get.
Dude.
And we only get them just through like quantity, basically. Like because we get more, we have more chance of getting something dumb.
Yeah.
Right? And even they're gone. So I was like, well, if these guys are quitting,
Then
I'm not.
what? There's no chance for the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm not going to do shit this league. So I'm going to uninstall this shit. But I needed that ARPG fix. I was like, I need the loot. I need to hit people and explode. All right.
Yeah.
So I reinstalled Diablo 3 because Diablo 4 is coming out soon.
Why not Immortal?
Because no. All right.
You don't have to pay.
No.
You don't have to pay.
No, I'm not playing Immortal.
Just do it.
I don't even want to give them a player number. All right. I don't want to be an active player stat on their list.
Why?
Because it's slimy. It's some slimy shit.
You don't have to pay anything.
I'm not doing it. So yeah,
hey.
I Diablo 4 is just around the corner, and Diablo 3 just started a new season of their own.
Okay.
So they started out season 27, I think it is. This game's like 10 years old, eh?
Yeah, I know.
I didn't realize that.
But like that's all Blizzard games. They
True.
last for like 10 years, and here's the next one.
Yeah, true. So this season is called The Light's Calling. Basically, they have this special item that they will have called Angelic Essence, I believe it's called.
Angelic Essence. Essence of Angelica.
And sorry, Angelic Crucibles. It's a consumable item that you can use on any piece of legendary equipment, like an equipable item, and it sanctifies the item. Okay.
Sounds so perverted,
I
but
know.
okay.
You can only have one sanctified item equipped at the same time. And depending on your class, it will give you some like super buff. It takes that piece of item, rolls it to the max possible stats.
Yeah.
Right. That item will always be a perfect roll, and it gives you one of 3 bonuses depending on your class. So for the barbarian, one of them is when you do whirlwind and you're channeling whirlwind, it'll suck in enemies from 30 yards away and then hold them there while you fly across the map. So you just have like a train of guys dying behind you as you're roaming through the map.
That sounds like fun.
There's one for the wizard where when you use storm armor, your armor charges over 30 seconds. And after 30 seconds, if you recast it, it instantly kills one enemy.
Yes.
And that's really useful in like really high rifts when everybody has like 3 quadrillion health or something like that.
Right.
And there's a whole bunch for every class. And with this, I rolled a wizard, and I did a build that I've never done before called the Tal Rasha Meteor. So this whole build relies on the 6-piece bonus from the Tal Rasha set and the Meteor skill. So how it works is that every time an enemy is hit by an elemental attack,
Yeah.
that enemy will have a meteor dropped on them of that element. But the same element can't hit twice. So if you hit them with cold, ice meteor drops. And if you hit them with cold again, nothing happens. So you have to rotate through fire, ice, arcane, and what's the other one? Fire, ice, arcane. There's something else I'm forgetting.
Lightning?
Yes, that's the one. And lightning. And basically you drop one meteor, and then a chain of reaction of shit happens that just chains all your different elements all together. And this is like cranked up to the max by having items where it's like, oh, remember when you cast meteor and you only cast 1 meteor? Now, whenever you cast a meteor, you cast 10 meteors. Oh, remember how like meteors take a little bit to like land in their spot that they designated it? Well, now any enemy who's not an elite pack, they get taunted towards the landing spot of the meteor.
I see.
Right? And you just start spamming meteors, and the whole screen fills up with bullshit, and you're hitting people for trillions of damage, and everybody explodes, and it's super fun.
Cool.
I've been playing it for like maybe 4 days. I'm like already in the end game.
Wow.
Diablo 3 is like the exact opposite of Path of Exile in terms of difficulty. This game is extremely easy to get into. It is very limited on builds because every endgame build revolves around your set. So you're always going to get set items. And then you just kind of go in and have fun. It really is like, I just want to go in and blow shit up. I don't want to think about a build set. I don't want to look at the sphere grid ever. You don't have to. You can pretty much build almost anything, and you're going to get pretty far.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's been fun. I've been playing with one of my friends.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. I don't know if I'll last the week after this one, but it did fulfill my my itch of I need to get like 30 rare items, identify them all at once, and then see if a stat roll's better or something. So
yeah,
it's pretty good. After that, I played a new board game. It's called Bullet.
Bullet.
It's made by L99. I think their most popular board game is Millennium Blades.
That sounds familiar, but I don't think I've played it.
Millennium Blades is a card game about a group of people who make a card game called Millennium Blades. And
Okay.
you play a card game about making a card game and selling your card game.
Okay.
It's like really meta. But Bullet is a shoot 'em up like a Mushihime or like a cave shooter, like an Ikaruga,
Yeah.
but it's a board game.
Okay.
And how this works is that you get a character, and each character has a different ability. They have different ability cards or pattern cards.
Are all the characters sexy girls?
All the characters are heroines, all right? Watch your mouth. God damn.
Oh, you degenerate.
Okay.
Oh,
They'll have really great names, too. Like there's like a big pun on the deer lady. I forget her name, but...
Okay.
And how this game works is that you have your character card, you have your power-up card, and you have your sight.
Your sight?
Yeah. Your sight is a 5x7, I believe, grid, each with different colors in each row or each column. And then what happens is at the beginning of a turn, you draw a bunch of bullets from the communal bag.
Yes.
And you have a 3-minute turn. Everybody does it at the exact same time.
Yes.
And what you have to do is draw bullets from your pool, put them into your sight, which is in the middle, and then try and create patterns with your cards to clear bullets on the screen.
Okay.
And then those cleared bullets get sent to your opponent.
Okay.
And then it's the last person wins. If a bullet ever gets to the bottom of your sight,
Yes.
it hits you for 1 damage. And then some people have 4 life, some people have 2, some people have no life, but they have like a special stipulation if you get hit, like you lose some power and stuff. And on each bullet is a number.
Yep.
Right? So you're seeing like a red 1, right? So
Yeah.
when you draw a red 1, you count the red row,
Yep.
and you count down 1 space. and you place it there. But so in your example here, there's a red 3 already planted in the red row, right? So say I draw another red 3. You count the empty spaces, 1, 2, skip the taken space, and then go to 3, and then put it in the 4 slot.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then say you were to get a 4. You go 1, 2, then you skip the 3 slot and you skip the 4 slot because they're taken up, and you put it in the 6 slot because 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then the closer it is, so what you're basically doing is you're gambling every time you take a chip out of your bag.
Yeah.
And you want to use your powers to move bullets around so you can fill out your pattern cards and then clear bullets from the screen.
Yeah.
So this gets a little bit hectic.
It looks hectic.
Once the timer starts, because each round is 3 minutes.
Okay.
And you have to get rid of every bullet in your bag or else you're penalized.
Okay.
And then every time a round goes around, the intensity goes up by 1, meaning all the tiles or the bullets you take from the communal bag goes up by 1. And then you also put all the bullets that your opponents gave you in your bag, and you start the next round.
All right.
It's kind of crazy. Each character also has like a boss version.
A boss version.
Yeah, so you can play like the SNK cracked out boss version of the characters. There's also, I think it goes up to 8 players if you have both sets.
Oh yeah, I saw there's 2 sets.
There's 2 sets and 1 expansion.
Yeah.
So if you have both sets, you can play up to 8 players. You can also play 1 player. They have like a PvE mode where you turn one of the boss characters over and you try and beat the boss and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a really good game. It's really fun. It's fast paced. It's also, because it's so fast paced, it's really quick. And it's one of those things where you'll be reading the instructions and it's like, God damn, this is confusing as fuck. But as soon as you actually like play out a turn, it all makes sense.
Cool.
I really like it.
Nice.
The one character I played, she has no life, but on this thing on the side you see that lightning bolt row. You have 7 AP. It's your ability power, and you can spend that ability power to, I don't know, like do a move, right? Move a bullet left or right or down, draw another pattern, do whatever. But for her, because she has no life, every time a bullet were to hit you, you clear that bullet, meaning you put it into the communal bag, and then you take 2 AP of damage. And if you go to 0, you die.
Okay.
But every turn, your AP goes back up to 7. So your life with her is always fluctuating up and down each round. And say you have like, oh crap, I have 1 AP left, and you get that unlucky last bullet in your bag, and it hits you, you just die.
Okay.
I would recommend it if you can find it at like a board game cafe. Maybe check that out. But this game was extremely fun. Once we got over kind of like the odd learning curve, because it's a very unique.
Yeah, it
style
looks
of board
very.
game.
It doesn't look like a pick up and play style.
No, we definitely had to like read the instructions for like half an hour.
Yeah, and I get the sense you don't really understand the game unless you play a couple rounds.
Yeah. And then we played like two full games.
Yeah.
And by the end of the first game, we're like, oh, we got this. And then everything went much faster. So I think the next one we're going to start playing with the timer and then go from there.
Ah, okay.
So
some of the names on these are just some are creative and some are just that's weak as fuck.
Dude, sometimes it's just weeb names.
Like Hitman surviving from day to day.
Senekasen. Hell yeah.
Basketball loving gangster.
Yeah, what? That's the best one. What are you talking about?
Like what?
What about where's the one girl?
Don't you like Musical Alchemist?
Dude, what about Jane Doe, the deer detective?
Wow.
Get it? She's a deer.
Look at this one. Technological fanatic, Ling Ling Zhao.
Dude, Chinese girl into tech?
Wow.
It's hitting someone's fetish.
Yeah, this one.
Esfir
The Red
Volkova.
Dwarf Star, Esfir Volkova.
Dude.
And there's some girl in a wheelchair I think I saw.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They also have like an expansion that brings over like characters from some series of games called Orange. I don't know.
Orange.
From the Orange Juice franchise. I know there's
I'm sorry, the what?
The Orange Juice franchise.
Sunny D?
No, Orange Juice, not fake. There's a game called Orange Juice 100%, and it's like a anime Mario Party.
All right.
And I think that's what they're from. I can't be for sure, but
well, Bullet Orange delivery
Free and delays.
Okay.
Oh, that was the news, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I would check it out, and
Yeah,
it's really good.
seems neat.
And then the last thing I did is I told you I'd do it this week. I beat Resident Evil 8. I started and beat Resident Evil 8.
Yeah. I'm assuming you were with Blaven, so he acted as commentary for you?
Nope.
Oh,
Played it
wow.
all by myself, baby.
Wow.
Only went in for the commentary when I was playing Mercenaries mode. And it didn't matter.
Oh.
Resident Evil. So remember when I was talking about Resident Evil 7?
And you're like, it's so good.
And I'm like, damn, this shit's awesome.
Oh, God.
And it's spoopy as fuck.
Here we go.
Oh, my God. Resident Evil 8 is a better game.
Really?
But it is not spoopy.
Sorry, you keep saying spoopy?
Yeah, spoopy.
What the hell's spoopy?
Spooky, but it's like the meme term.
Who says that?
Dude, all the memesters online say it. All right, it's spooky.
Only lollies say that shit.
Dude, I guess, you know what? You are what you eat. Okay?
Wow. Oh, wow. That's on record, everybody.
Is it? Is it? Delete this episode. Yeah, so it's think less survival horror, more Resident Evil 4 wacky.
4 was 4 wacky?
4 was pretty whack. Remember when you figure out who Salazar is?
Yeah, but
he's like,
know.
"Welcome to my castle. I'm an 8-year-old."
I guess, but it's nowhere near as wacky as 5 and 6.
It's like on the cusp. This is like 4.5 levels of wacky.
It's like 6. Oh,
6 is a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
So 4 still revolves around Ethan Winters. Takes place right after the events, or not right after, but like a year or two after the events of 7. And your family is still kind of messed up by the events, and you just had a kid, Rose Winters. And all of a sudden, you're just having a nice family dinner, and your wife's like, hey, you know what? Like, we got to start a new life. We're in this new village. It's going to be great, and blah, blah, blah. And all just blasted through the window, just immediately.
By what?
By bullets. And you're like, who the fuck would shoot? And you know who comes walking in, baby? Chris Redfield.
Yeah.
He walks in, stands over your wife's corpse, 5 bullets to the dome.
Nice.
And he's like, Ethan, don't ever come after me, you motherfucker. Like, just like hardcore army guy. And you're like, bro, you just quad cinco tapped my wife. What the fuck? And then you stole my baby? What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And what happens is, as you're being transported by Chris's murder crew, something happens to your convoy, I guess.
Your convoy.
Yeah. And you wake up in the village. It turns out that the village is run by some lady called Mother Miranda.
Okay.
And she kind of has this small village under her, I guess, control. She's basically like the god of the village. And she has 4 loyal soldiers, basically, like the captains. And one of them is Lady Demitru, the big vampire lady.
Yeah, I've seen this woman. Yeah.
And so each of those bosses are like 4 different areas that you have to go to in order to get Mother Miranda, in order to collect the parts of your baby. Because what has happened is that Mother Miranda stole the baby that Chris stole from you, basically cut it up into 4 parts, and then put your baby in this weird yellow jars that you have to collect to go put your baby back together.
Yeah.
And then from there, a bunch of like horror wacky shit happens. There is one level that is really spooky, and it's like to do with like fake dolls and stuff. And the whole room, there's no action. It's all set up like it's a locked room mystery type of thing. That level is awesome. It is very cool. But the overall tone is much lighter, I feel, than 7 was.
Is it as short as 7?
No, it's a little bit longer. I think it took me around 9 hours to beat.
Wow.
8.5, 9 hours. If I watch all the cutscenes and stuff, and yeah. But there's a lot to do. There's a ton of weapons. The merchant's back, so there's a bunch of new guns. You can get a bunch of upgrades. There's tons of secrets. Once you get an item, like Zelda style, you get an item from the dungeon, you go back out into the open world and start doing other stuff.
Yeah. Love it.
This game is extremely polished. It is extremely well made, but it is definitely not the survival horror genre anymore. Almost, it's like a spooky first-person shooter almost.
Okay.
Yeah. That being said, I think this game, I even had an even better time with this game than I did with 7.
Wow.
They are definitely 2 different experiences, but you can tell within the time between Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8, they've learned so many lessons about how to make these games in first person, and it was fantastic. The story, the whole ride through was great. Even the twists at the end. Like, I don't think there was a soft point in this game. I kind of enjoyed all of it.
Okay.
The world building is fantastic, especially if you dive into like the like notes that you read and that kind of stuff. Like, you know, when you find like a note on a desk or whatever.
Hold on, I just gotta stop you there. So
Yeah.
you said the story was great.
Yeah.
But you also said that this game is very silly.
It's sillier because
You told me this is on the cusp of the 4 point. Like, that's pretty silly.
it's pretty silly, but it's still cool because it sets up a lot of wider
like, okay, is
implications
it
for the
actually a
story
good
going
story,
forward.
or is it that it just hits the things that you personally like? Like, is it like a Revengeance style, you know, like
No. It's not like it's not just like I'm gonna get all the bad guys.
Yeah.
No. It's not, it's not like
okay.
that. It is definitely man trying to save his family and figure out why he was targeted again and that kind of stuff.
You're a bitch.
Because you're a little bitch. Which actually in this they hint at it at the beginning, but he's like, oh man, like after all the military training I got and stuff. So like I guess Chris trained him,
Yeah.
and it shows in like a lot of the reload and gun handling. So like when he has a pistol in 7, he would just like drop a mag, chuck it, and then put in a new mag. In this one, you do like the tack reload where you pull out a mag and then have the same new mag in your same hand, and you reload it and keep all the bullets.
Yeah.
So they kind of like add that into the lore. But this game is on a grander scale because it's setting up bigger things for the Resident Evil world in general. Because guess who Chris is working for now?
I don't know. I don't even know the.
He used to work for the BSAA.
No, I know, but I don't know. You know the bad guys anymore,
dude. Well, the bad guys are whoever shows up right now.
Yeah.
There's no like evil corp right now.
What?
But Chris is working for Umbrella.
Good for him.
Right?
You know,
Umbrella's trying to they're trying to change their ways.
exactly.
After the Wesker incident.
Exactly.
You know how they changed their ways?
How?
They became a PMC organization.
Well, there you go.
They became private military contractors, and they're like, science is too crazy for us. We're going to become military.
So where's Leon in all this?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Where's Jill?
Nobody knows.
I know Jill's like a ninja warrior now, but like
I think it's hinted that Jill's still working for the BSAA. I don't know. But yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm sure it's a great game. It's so hard to care about Resident Evil because it feels like for years this was a series that really tried to care about its like story, and then it gave up.
Yeah,
and then now it's like, no, we actually do care.
Yeah, so right now what's happening is that 7 was like, oh, they care, and then 8 is like, oh, they still care.
Yeah, and,
then they're gonna get to 9. I'm gonna be like, oh no, they're not gonna care anymore.
Because like, and then now it's like they're trying to sow the seeds of 5 and 6.
Yeah,
and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, and there's callbacks to all those past games. Like there's references and connections from the villains in this game to the villains in like 1 and 2.
Like,
right?
and I think like as a fan, yeah, that would be so cool.
It's very cool.
But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I just don't know.
I like it a lot.
All right.
I wish I'm playing through it again.
Wow.
That's how much I like it.
Speedrun arcade mode, like special weapons, items.
So I did Mercenaries mode, and that's kind of just you're in a level, try and kill as much stuff within the time limit and reach the goal for high score.
Yeah.
And in New Game Plus, I'm going through the harder mode, but I have like infinite ammo on certain weapons unlocked and stuff. And there's a lot of bonus weapons. You can get a lightsaber in one of them, basically.
That's cool,
right? Just like a bunch of joke weapons. It kind of rewards you for like in classic Capcom style. Oh, you beat the game. Here's a bunch of wacky shit for you to go through it again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Cool.
It's good. All good games this week. Had a great time.
Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely fantastic.
Amazing.
Recommend them all.
Nice. This week, Anthony, I built a Gundam.
No, you didn't.
Well, I built half a Gundam.
That's what I thought.
I built half.
I'm looking at it right now.
I built half a Gundam.
I'm looking at half a Gundam right now.
Yeah, like my hand is still not in a situation where it's comfortable to hold the controller, or not as comfortable, but it's just too awkward, and I just don't really care to.
Okay.
So I'm okay. Yeah. So I was like, what else can I do?
You're weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I broke my wrist.
And then so I saw a Gundam box on my desk that I hadn't put away, and I'm like, I'll just build it instead. So I built half of the Master Grade Origin Gundam. Guys, building Gundams are fun. I don't know if you know this. It's pretty cool to build a plastic model kit.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
Man, if you really like it, you should start some sort of like YouTube channel.
I feel like I should like take like it shouldn't just be a wasted hobby. I should do something with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, live stream your build or something. Like,
so I took a picture of this and I posted it
on your Twitter.
Dude, my DMs exploded. Like, you back? You back? Yo, no pressure, but you're gonna make a video about this?
Dude, what's going on?
I'm like, oh my god.
We're missing the Filipino persuasion in the toy game.
Oh shit. And then yeah, so that was that. But in the meantime, while I was building, I'm actually going really slow. I feel like it's been so long since I've just sat down and built one that I've lost the speed and the efficiency. So I've just been going slow, taking my time, enjoying it. But in the meantime, I've been watching this YouTube channel called Wristwatch Revival.
That's not toys.
And it's hosted by this man named, I think his name is LC Marshall from the Magic Scene. He's a commentator. Mm-hmm. His secondary hobby is he buys and restores vintage wristwatches. And so he'll spend like $30 on, let's say, an Omega Seamaster from like the 40s.
Okay.
It has like, it's rusted to shit, doesn't run, the hands have fallen off, there's no strap. Takes it apart, cleans it all, repairs it, and it is just a therapeutic repair session. But what I like about his is that he's not professionally trained. It's literally just him. It's his journey through the hobby of restoring watches.
So he's learning how to do all of this, but recording it.
And sometimes, he won't know how to do something, and so he'll just experiment.
To Google. Yeah,
and he'll just like, I guess that worked, maybe it won't. But I knew that it was a very difficult thing to work on watches because of the size. But the amount of tools, like highly specific tools that you can literally only use for one part
of the
watch that costs hundreds of dollars.
Oh god.
And I'm like, I understand, because then you get to use all these highly specific tools, and like that's it. And I'm sure he's spent thousands and thousands of dollars on just the tools.
Okay.
But it's so cool. But he talks about his process, because there's a lot of similar like channels, but the thing with them is it's always silent, and it's a bit condensed, so you just see the actions of it happening. These are like hour-long videos. I'm just watching this man repair a watch, and it's very interesting. I feel like I've watched enough that in my mind I could tell you every part of a watch movement. I would totally fail if I had to try and do it myself.
Yeah, like doing a test.
Yeah, but I feel like I know everything now, or not everything, but like a basic 3-hand watch. I could pretty much look at it and understand how it works.
So the real question is, how many tools do you got on order, bud?
None, because I was like, listen, I got to get through my Gundams first, and then I will consider.
Okay.
But I probably would never.
Dude, what if you turn your YouTube channel into a watch channel?
Dude. So if you ever see me start posting again on YouTube, like Gundam reviews and whatnot, I'm only doing it so I can get revenue to buy a watch. Like that's my dirty secret. If
Strictly click on the ads.
If you see my channel revive with Gundam videos and like the most popular Gundam videos, you know why now.
Dude, I'm telling you, just put watch videos up. That's toys for adults.
Yeah. I'll make a second channel for that.
Right.
Anyways, the other thing I did is the fall anime season is slowly coming upon us. We know that Cyberpunk is like out in a week and a half. But the other show I'm super, super pumped for is the new Gundam.
Yes.
Mobile Suit Gundam Witch from Mercury. This will be the first original Gundam series outside of like the Build Divers things since Iron-Blooded Orphans, which is, I couldn't believe this. It's almost been a decade.
Since IBO?
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, since it started, not since it ended.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Gundam.info YouTube channel put out a prologue to the series. So like episode 0.
Okay.
And it's awesome.
Right.
It is.
Okay.
So it's obviously it's, space versus Earth, and one has robots. Like that is Gundam through and through. It's always been like that. Maybe they both have robots. Yeah. But in this one, there's a girl and she's the chosen one. She got superpowers.
Dude, what? No way.
Yeah. Like,
did she get isekai'd from another world?
No. let's just say this episode is the backstory to her tragic upbringing.
Oh no.
Yeah, the episode's hella sad.
Okay.
Like it ends on a downer.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the Gundams in this one, like Earth versus space.
They run off of sadness.
Space is like trying to like is the big boy, big shot, whatever. And these Earth people, they've created a new type of Gundam project.
Okay.
Only theirs, like they don't really explain it, but their Gundam project is very powerful at the cost of human life.
Nice.
So like they can beat other people, but then
shorten their lifespan.
No, like their skin starts to radiate, and then they start to like disfigure bodily.
Oh,
yeah,
weird.
and then they just die.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, the chosen girl here, she they're big, so that's their biggest problem. They can't advance their technology without killing the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
But the twist here is like the girl, the main character, like for whatever reason they throw a baby into a Gundam, and
they're like,
and it turns out she's got special powers.
Nice.
Okay, and she starts pointing at the screen.
Yeah.
She's like, "Ooh, look at that! It's like stars and
stuff.
candles."
Yeah.
And the Gundam she's in annihilates everything.
Nice.
Animation's incredible. Like if you wanted that, like you want to see robots on the screen again.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it just fulfills that. And what I really like about this series is they've really gone all in on use of color.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've just completely abandoned the idea that these are weapons and they need to be colored to a certain extent to make sense within a militaristic aspect. Like of course Gundams always have different colors, like main colors are green or whatever, but a lot of them, the colors are kind of muted or washed out or like put in a way so that they still, I don't want to say fall within the realms of realism, but I don't remember Gundams ever being so flashy out of the gate for the sake of being flashy. So it's cool. I'm digging it. Y'all should watch it.
I gotta look up this prologue.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, that was our week. It was pretty short, like riding the indoor bike. That's been fun.
Boo.
It's been a thing.
Just put on some weight, all right? You're too skinny.
Riding the indoor bike has been fun. Doing that.
Still doing the Zwift?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been, I don't know. I think I need to buy an iPad to put it on my iPad.
You have the TV.
Yeah, but I want to use the TV to watch stuff.
Use your phone.
I tried that, and I've been trying it, putting Zwift on my phone and using the TV to watch.
Yeah.
I can't read my phone. I can't tell what power I'm supposed to hit. Okay. I don't know when things are happening.
Let me tell you about the Samsung Z Fold.
Oh my goodness.
What if your phone could fold open?
How dare you? How dare you? Speaking of stupid things I bought though, I think the week I was showing you like a watch strap I wanted.
Yes.
I bought it.
Is that thing I'm looking at right now?
No. It's like a military elastic strap, and I had printed on it my hair,
this thing.
My numbers from like my gamer tag, so it's like 00V3.
Oh my god.
And then I had her hand stitch a Canadian flag on the bottom of the buckle.
Terrible.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. She's like, yeah, 7 to 12 business days, it'll be in your hands. Like, oh god man.
Damn.
I spent too much money on this.
Well, yeah, it's custom made.
One
of a kind.
Yeah, man. Thank you. And shout out to Erica's Originals for that.
Until I make the same one.
Oh,
God. There's 2.
Oh, God.
What are you gonna
do now? God. But yeah, that was my week.
Dude, I forgot.
What?
Part of my week.
What did you do?
Dude, I went to go see Beast.
This is a movie.
This is the new Idris Elba movie.
Yeah.
Idris Elba and his kids in the movie.
Yeah.
Go on vacation to the African safari.
Okay.
And they go to see like wild animals, like,
of course,
like lions.
What else are you gonna do out there?
And they're doing it because their mom died, his wife died.
No.
They're over the grieving period.
Okay.
They want to bond as a family.
Okay.
So they meet their friend who lives out in Africa. And they're like, hey, let's go on like an African lion safari.
Oh God.
That's right. African. And so they go out. They're doing a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
And then just disaster strikes.
Oh, this is a serious movie.
They go to a village. Turns out the whole village has been murdered.
Okay.
By a lion.
Oh, this movie.
And so
it's like a single lion. It's like
yeah,
one lion.
it's
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
So this movie is Idris Elba
Fights
a lion
Yes.
while trying to not be killed by his kids, because every single time, like, this movie has no storyline if the kids didn't fuck everything up at every point they possibly could.
I mean, that's the purpose of kids, though.
And I hate it. I hated this movie. Actually, okay, it was pretty mid. I'm gonna say.
No, when you saw him punch the lion, you're like, that's pretty
he
cool.
Punch a lion. That was pretty. And then he got into a fight with a lion, like a straight up like boxing match. It was fucking crazy.
How does he win? How does he win?
Dude, I can't spoil the movie.
All right.
But this, think of like, you know, in Resident Evil, when Nemesis is like following you around everywhere,
Yeah.
and occasionally you get a break,
Mm.
and then Nemesis pops up like out of fucking nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's this movie.
Mm.
Like, I swear to God, they just looked at like the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes and are like, we could do that with a lion. And then they put Idris Elba in it.
Don't see why not.
Oh my God, it was such a dumb movie. And yeah, like, honestly, this whole thing, the whole movie and all the issues of it would have been non-existent if it weren't for the kids constantly fucking it up. And it's one of those situations where it's just like, oh, this is not really interestingly written. It's just
written.
They're like, okay, we need it. Okay, he solved this problem. We need a new problem. What if the kids did this? Right? It'll be a lot of situations of just like, there's a lion, like, just literally just pacing around the car, like within touching distance of a car. Right? And the kid's like, I know what it's time to do. Leave the car. And it's like, why would you ever fucking leave the car?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, totally, right? Yeah, you're safe in this car, and eventually he'll give up. But like, what if I left it?
But I mean, like, how old are these kids?
I think in the show they're supposed to be like early high school and like mid elementary, or like mid to late elementary.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Dude, it really got me thinking. I was just like, if one of my kids did this, I might just let them get eaten by a lion. I don't know.
But like, okay, I know it's stupid, but just hang with me for a second.
Okay.
Like a lot of the youth today, what does everyone do? We're just on our computers.
True.
And all we know of the world is what we see on the internet.
Yes.
It's very rare that, like a lot of people don't even like to go outside and do the experience of themselves. They'd rather watch someone on stream do it.
Okay.
Right? So when you're all these kids, and now you're finally in that situation, your expectations of a lion are from what you've only ever seen in media.
That's true. You're right.
And so I would be like, could a lion crack this window and claw and get it and get me? Could a lion rip out a door? I don't think that it's out of the realms of like plausibility that mindset is there.
Okay, but where do I have a better chance? In the open African safari, or with protection and four walls around me and a roof?
I don't know, man. I don't know how strong a lion is.
These kids were like, they don't have amygdalas, all right? Like, they just don't have a fear response at all, or their fear response is so jacked and broken that they're like, I'm scared in this car. You know, I'd be less scared.
But you know what?
In their home turf, let's
kids
go,
are
baby.
Fearless. Kids are fearless. Adults are only terrified. Kids are fearless.
Dude, I hate this movie. Right.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it was smartly written. I'm just,
it's definitely a movie.
All right.
I'll say that. It was definitely a movie.
Okay. I'm surprised you actually wanted to see this, but okay.
Oh, I did. I went to a drive-in.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. And then my car died after the movie ended.
You didn't turn it on like halfway through?
No, because I can't, for some reason in that car, I can't turn the headlights off even while the engine's running.
Pull up the handbrake.
Is there a handbrake? There's got to be a handbrake.
Before you turn it on, pull up the handbrake.
Yeah.
Turn it on. The lights won't be on.
Will it not?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that. There we go.
Yeah.
Because, in this one, it's just like dim or on. So maybe I should just crank the handbrake then next time. But yeah. So
but you didn't even want to just start your car halfway through? Most people do that.
I've never done that. I've always done it until the movie ends, and then I don't turn it off. I just go from electricity on to start the car, and that's enough.
Oh boy.
But
I'm surprised you didn't have what do you call it? Just like a speaker.
Yeah, I thought about that after. I was like, I should just shut the car off, brought like a Bluetooth radio or something.
Yeah, because those are unless you have a really banging car.
Yeah.
Usually those speakers are actually better.
Yeah, true. Next time.
Mm.
Next time. I'll remember. This is my drive-in stereo.
Good job.
But yeah, goddamn beast. Oh my god. Don't see it.
I'm glad you saw it.
Yeah.
So now I don't have to see it.
Don't. You don't know what? Yeah, don't.
Have you seen Lightyear?
No.
Okay.
Is that still in there?
I don't
Still
know.
in the theaters?
No, it's on Disney Plus now, I think.
Oh, okay.
But like someone was telling me the synopsis, and I'm way more interested to see it.
Really? I heard that movie's like super mid as well.
Yeah, I think it depends what you're looking for, though.
Okay.
Like if you want a Toy Story, it is not that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
It's like the lore of the toy, I guess.
No, it's the show that Andy watches in Toy Story.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, I remember that. Goddamn beast.
Beast.
Oh my god. Beast. Beasties. No.
No, that's totally
different. That's different.
That's not the one.
Okay.
Sorry, you missed it. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. We hope you have a wonderful long weekend. If you're in Toronto, CNE is the final weekend. Check that place out. You want some ketchup and mustard ice cream? Can I treat you to a 2-foot-long hot dog?
You say ketchup and mustard ice cream?
Oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg, baby.
That's disgusting.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Ew.
What?
Gross.
Okay. Deep fried
Whole-
coffee?
No. What's going on at the CNE?
Come on.
What's going on?
Pulled pork between a Krispy Kreme? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I know that last one you're tempted. I know that last one you're
No.
tempted. I know it.
Individually, fantastic. But no.
Anthony, I know you love Asian fusion food.
I don't.
There's plenty of that to enjoy at the
I actually
CNE.
dislike it.
Fusion food is the best food.
I learned in the path there's a sushi burrito place.
Hell yeah.
God dang, I wanted to set that shit on fire. I was like, why would you ever do that?
It's literally just a giant hand roll. What are you talking about?
It's terrible.
It's a hand roll.
No. The marketing ruins it.
I have seen you eat many a hand roll.
All right, the marketing
I've seen you
ruins it.
double fist hand rolls.
Listen, the marketing ruins it. All right, the marketing ruins it. So I'm telling you.
Oh, get out of here. Have a great long weekend, everybody.
See ya.